We're live. Hey, friends. Welcome to the live shopping show. It is your friend in flowers and tomato plants, Lisa Mason Ziegler. I'm glad you're here. So happy Valentine's Day, friends. Today's show, first off, we'll talk more about these, but these are the tomatoes that we bumped up together here on this show just 2 weeks ago.
And are they too early for tomatoes?
And they're gorgeous. And I'm just reminding everybody it's really too early for tomatoes. I just have these here to show to you. They're demo plants. Aren't they gorgeous? All right, we'll talk about them in a little while. Today's show, friends, the lineup is I'm going to be giving my best indoor seedling care tips. You're going to learn about how to know when seedlings are ready to be planted out, an update here on the farm, kind of what we're planting and doing. I'm going to be doing a soil blocking demonstration, and look at that. Look at all those gorgeous seedlings. Unbelievable, y'all. And remember, we have a prize drawing for one lucky in-app viewer that will be pulling at the end.
And at the be present.
Right. And at the end of the show, we will be doing a little Q&A. And remember, you can submit a question for the Q&A by putting at Lisa and whatever your question is. And the team will gather those up and select a few for me to actually answer at the end of the show. So that's always really fun. Now, a little housekeeping before we get started. First up, go back up, Kelly. I'm sorry. There's... So there's a share button down at the bottom of your screen, and we love it when you guys hit that button. We have so many new viewers every single week that also become new customers. It just blows our mind, y'all. We thank you for that. But if you hit that share button, that just invites all of your friends. Now, if you are a beginner or an aspiring flower farmer, I have a free webinar opportunity for you now. It's called the Top 3 Beginner Flower Farmer Mistakes to Avoid. Now, if you're on our email list, you already got it in your email. But if you aren't or you don't know where it is, you can go to thegardenersworkshop.com, and at the top of every page, there's a big old gold banner. That's where you actually request that. All right, so don't miss out on that. So one thing we ask that you do here in the app is to please double check your email and your phone number for typos. It happens every week, y'all. So please just put your eyeball on it and make sure there's no typos and they're correct. And remember that here in the app, we give free shipping on seed packet only orders. That means if you only order seeds, shipping is on us, and we love doing that for you. Now, there is a cap on product shipping here. It doesn't matter how many products you purchase. It's only $9.95 to ship them, and we ship to all 50 of the United States. Now, if you're joining us from a social media app, we are so glad you're here if you're on Facebook or Instagram. But what you need to know is that we do have a phone app, and in the app, there's just a lot more ways for you to get involved, and it's just easier and a better experience. You could actually pop out, go over to your phone's app store, search Gardener's Workshop. You want the Shop app, download it. It doesn't take but 30 seconds, and then pop back over here, because when you're in the app, you get to participate in the giveaway. You can also carry on a conversation with the other viewers, which can be lively at times, and build a favorites list. You can watch replays. There's just a lot of fun stuff. Now, I want to just mention that each week we often sell out of products that we're talking about during the show. If you go to a product and it says out of stock, get notified, you might want to hit that button, because oftentimes the team may be bringing stock over from our big website to populate the app. And that just means you'll get a little ding on your phone telling you that it's back in stock. And friends, if you're seeing people post the sunflower emoji, that's because they're claiming their place in the TGW family. We consider anyone that is one of our course students part of our family, and they post that sunflower to give us a shout out, and we thank you so very, very much. Now, friends, we do a giveaway each week. You have to be here to enter, and you have to be here live to actually claim it. And it is a $25 store credit. And Kelly has brought it up. If you just hit the white box, that'll bring it up, and you just put yourself on the wait list. And that's the list that we actually pull the winner right at the end of the show. So we love giving away stuff, y'all, and we certainly hope that you are going to participate in that. And you know, it's so funny. Every single week, the person is here that wins. You know, sometimes people come and go from this kind of stuff. We love that y'all hang with us. Now, we have a really special offer this week. It's a really special circumstance, and it's a deal, and I'm telling you, get it while you can before I even show it to you, right? So, this is Quick Dip. This is a quick hydrator, which we use all the time here on our farm. We have several bottles that are going to be going out of date in May of 2025. And the manufacturer has assured us, and it tells you right on the website, doesn't it, Kelly, on the posting, what they told us, that it's good for 2 years after the date. They aren't willing to guarantee it, but it should be fine. They are 60% off, y'all. We just want to move them out. We have more coming on. So normally, how much is this normally? $17.95 is the regular price. $7.18, y'all. Quick Dip. This is something that we use every week of harvest on our farm here. We use it to either rehydrate wilting plants, or for those testy crops that tend to wilt, we put a couple of tablespoons of this in those harvest buckets. So get on this now, because I can tell you they will not be here very long.
They're flying off the
yeah,
shelf
they're
now.
literally flying off the shelf as I am telling you this. So get these bottles. I mean, we love this stuff. And I'm just glad the team found it before they actually expired. And so we can get them out of here and give you the opportunity to take advantage of that. Now, you know, I always start the shows off highlighting my books, and I thought I would do something a little bit different this week with the Cut Flower Handbook. You know, this is my latest book. I don't want this paper in there. This is my latest book, the Cut Flower Handbook. It came out last year. This is the book when somebody says to me, I would love to grow flowers, but I just don't know where to start or what to grow or what to do. This is the book, friends. This tells you how it works, how you can build it, whether you're a home gardener or a flower farmer. But what I wanted to highlight this week, and look at these gorgeous images, y'all. They're just beautiful. So what I wanted to highlight this week is I have actually made places in this book for you to actually write your planting windows that the book teaches and guides you to figure out. So this one is my garden's average dates. This is your first and last frost. The pictures are amazing in this book, y'all. And then, wait a minute. Here, your cool season planting windows. It tells you how to figure out when you are supposed to plant them. And here is your succession planting dates. We gave you a place to actually write those dates in. So once you figure it out, you don't have to refigure it again. I would love to sign a copy of the Cut Flower Handbook for you. Plus, when you buy it from us, it comes with the PDF download that you get a bookmark in your book, and there's a QR code on there that you get this. And this is the flowers that didn't make the book. There's never enough room, y'all. Never enough room. So I would love for you to have one of these. It'll just guide you to have so many beautiful cut flowers. Now, my book, Vegetables Love Flowers, which is also about a small cutting garden and why it is so significant and beneficial inside of a vegetable patch, y'all, because of all the visitors it attracts. This book really shares my all-natural philosophy of gardening and farming, how we don't use pesticides and how you don't need to. And so this book, Vegetables Love Flowers, also comes with a free video book study. And I would love to sign this book for you. And this is the perfect book for the vegetable person that really doesn't know why they should grow flowers. Why should they give some room to it? This is the book that'll flip them, y'all, in addition to having all of my practices. And then, of course, there's the book that started it all. That's Cool Flowers. This is a great little read on teaching you how to figure out when your cool season hardy annual planting times are. That's why we all failed for so long, because we were just planting them at the wrong time. This little book also comes with a free video book study when you purchase it from us. And this book is $22.95, and I would love to sign one for you. So this is really the start of the journey if you're just learning about this stuff. So let's talk about my tips of the day about indoor seedling care. And I want to just say out of the gate that we have learned through years and years and years of growing that giving your seedlings a great, healthy start makes all the difference in the world. So taking a little time to plan things out and to think about what you're doing before you start your seed, y'all. It's like, where are you going to grow those babies up? Where in your home, or where is your spot? And then some things that you actually need to consider is what we're going to actually talk about. So thinking about where are you going to grow them up indoors, and then where are you going to harden them off? In my club, one of the first master classes I did was a deep dive on growing healthy seedlings. Because I think that people focus so much on what are they going to grow and getting it to sprout. They don't pay much attention to the rest of the story. And that is the place where we go really, really right or really, really long. So for us, a part of our journey is that we use living soil. We do not use sterile seed starting soil. It includes compost and natural nutrients. And we believe that that is key to healthy transplants. Because the other thing is, what we've learned, healthy transplants over the long haul of their performance out in the field is definitely impacted by the way that they actually start. And we choose to use soil blocking whenever we can because it grows such amazing transplants. The blocks, because they're never in a container, and I'm going to demonstrate it and show you some shortly, because they're not in a container, the roots get so much oxygen, they're air pruned, and they just adapt quicker to transplanting. And they literally fruit and flower earlier than seed started in other methods. And it's because of that. They don't have to recover from transplant shock. Now, seedlings require 16 to 18 hours of direct light per day. And you have to use a grow light for that, y'all. There's not that many hours of light in the day. And when they don't get that, they start stretching and getting yellow and getting spotty and just getting sickly and puny. And based on what type of light you have, what type of bulb, you place the light as close to the seedlings as your light dictates, right? Some of them are very close and some of them are further away. And so one of the common problems that we see people struggle with is watering. They're either putting too much or too little. And that really weakens the plants, especially the too much. Even though you may think you're not overwatering because there's not water standing in the tray, the soil should dry out in a 24-hour life cycle, meaning I go into my grow room in the morning, my plants are dry, the blocks are dry, I water, literally water, and then I don't come back to that grow room until the next morning, right? And when I come back the next morning, if they're not dry again, I need to take some considerations. And we're going to talk about what those are, because if they're staying moist all the time, that means they're only getting moisture. They're not getting oxygen. And that's what really leads to healthy roots, because they really need to breathe. And of course, you never leave blocks sitting in water. Now, the temperature in your grow space really can affect this. Not only does it affect the growth of the vegetation of the plant, but it helps with that drying out cycle. Warmer temperatures means that the vegetative, that means the top part of the plant, the plant part, not the roots, are going to grow faster. If the temperatures are cooler, they're going to be slower to grow. And a side note for that life cycle of 24 hours, if you have cool temperature, your stuff isn't going to dry out. You have to fix that. That's what really, and they're not really growing. And if they're not growing, they're just going to sit there, and then they're going to stall, and then they're going to get puny, and it just is kind of a vicious cycle, right? So warmer encourages faster, cooler slows everything down. Now, feeding your seedlings, we like to do a once a week liquid fertilizer. And I just include that in the watering can that I use. Mondays are the fertilization days. That just means I fill my watering can and I measure out the Neptune's harvest according to directions into that watering can, right? And so food is really important. And then another thing that is really a struggle for a lot of us is you have to prevent fungus gnats. You can treat for them too, but I'm telling you, it is so much easier to just prevent them from happening because that's the little gnats that you see flying around, and those adults are actually laying their eggs in your soil. And so you have to treat both, and we have a fix, and we're going to look at that, of what I use to actually do that. So you have to, prevention is the war to fight, y'all. All right, so when are my seedlings ready to be moved outdoors? Well, as a general reference, 3 to 5 inches tall, or if it's like a strawflower or a rudbeckia, black-eyed Susan, they don't really get tall. Their leaves grow. So you're looking at like a 3 to 5 inch leaf. You're looking for a healthy, hardy little seedling. And so what happens if you've started too early, as frequently happens for some of us, and you need to stall your plants, meaning your plants are like really getting close to ready, but the weather's not cooperating, or you started too early, or your bed planting area is not ready, or whatever your problem is. These are some steps that I follow. The number one first thing I do is I stop fertilizing. They'll be all right for a couple times without fertilization. You can cool your air temperature. Remember, faster, warmer, slower, cool. And then you can, as a last-ditch effort, if you hadn't already planned to pinch, you can pinch your plants if they're branching annuals. And what that does is buys you time and space in the actual tray while you're waiting for whatever to correct itself outside. So I want to demonstrate making some soil blocks for you because seeing is believing, y'all, and that's what we're going to do next here. All right, so you always do soil blocks in some kind of tub because you have to add water, and we give you all of those instructions. And this is our ready-made blocking mix. Sister, can you bring the tub of water over here? I meant to bring that. And we tell you like how much of, whether it's the DIY recipe you make at home or it's our ready-made, thank you. We tell you how much water to add, but this has been sitting for a while, so I'm just gonna moisten this up a little bit. I will tell you that the biggest struggle in making the blocks usually is rooting in that the soil's too dry. So if in doubt and struggling, add more water. This is a potato masher, y'all. It is the best tool I have found to incorporate the water. This is the small soil blocker. It is the one that I use probably 95% of the time. And it's a two-handed, hold onto the stationary bar, push it down into the soil. I like to do it twice to make certain that the chambers are actually nice and full. And we use flat bottom trays with no drainage holes, which means you can place this anywhere inside your home and not worry about water. And these are what is one of our reusable foam trays. So this is 20 3/4 inch blocks. And that quickly, I just made 20 little containers. And I'm gonna show you here in a few moments, probably 99% we sow and grow in that block. They are not bumped up, they're not moved up to anything else. And we start almost everything, zinnias, marigolds, basil, tomatoes, peppers, you're gonna see it all. So that is how I make those blocks. So Susie Q and I, well here, I can just move this table for you, sister. All right, so how can you get started doing that, right? So I want to show you, it's our deal of the day, and it is our #1 customer favorite, and that is the Soil Block Maker Kit. And it is 20% off today, y'all. So this is everything that you need to actually start making soil blocks, right? So it includes the small blocker. We import these from England. Don't be tricked by knockoffs, y'all. They do not last. This is from the Ladbroke Company, the original English makers. That's the small blocker. The kit includes your choice of either 3 warm season seeds or 3 cool season seeds. Your choice. You make that selection at checkout. It also includes my seed starting made easy course. I take you from beginning to end to start making the blocks, to growing them up and getting them out to the garden, as well as sowing seeds outdoors in the garden, and sowing sunflowers into plug trays, as well as using the commercial soil blocker, the Swift blocker. So that comes with it. It also comes with a bag, a 6-quart bag of the ready-made mix. This makes about 600 of those small 3/4-inch blocks. Y'all, it is just such an efficient, savvy way to start seeds. So it comes with this bag, and then it also includes 5 of these reusable foam trays. This tray holds 3 sets of 20, so 60 plants. It comes with the seed pan, as well as I use these little sticks to actually handle the blocks, and it also comes with our toothpick dispenser and toothpick, which is what we use to sow the seeds. So you get all of these things. The regular price on this is, I believe, where is the prices? Okay, sorry. $89.95 is the regular price, which is already a little discount because it's a kit, but it's 20% off today, and that makes it $71.96, and you have until Sunday at 8 a.m. to make that purchase, or while supplies last, right? And so customer favorite, y'all, and there's a reason for that, because it just kind of sets you up to get started soil blocking, right? Now, I mentioned that there's the ready-made mix, which you just saw. Well, we know so many of our customers just love making their own at-home mix. It's more cost-effective, and this sets you up just to make a lot more mix if that's what you need. So this is the Make Your Own Blocking Mix. It's $58.95, and it's regularly $62.80. So let's go through what this includes. So this is a cocoa fiber brick. This is what we use in place of peat moss. And this one brick makes about 2.5 gallons of product. You just add water. It's amazing to watch, y'all. It just swells up and grows. And then we have the DIY nutrient mix. And this has enough nutrient to make 6 recipes. Okay, get this. 6 recipes. A recipe is equivalent to one of those ready-made bags, which is 6 quarts. So this will basically make, is it 6 recipes? 6 recipes times 600 blocks. You add your compost. Yup, we got it all. You know what, Kelly? I'm just realizing this for the first time. All they do is add water at home. Holy cow, y'all. For so many years, we had to say, you add your peat moss at home and your compost, but we have put it all together here. So this is enough to make 6 recipes, and the recipe is right here on the front of the bag. This is powder, and it's green sand and rock phosphate powder. It also comes with the compost. Unbelievable, really. And then here is the most significant piece. This is a sifter, y'all, a sieve. This fits perfectly onto the top of a 5-gallon bucket. So you can set it up on a table and sift all your ingredients, enough for the whole season, and it will just make this job a real snap. So you get the nutrient, the compost, the cocoa brick, the whole enchilada for $58.95, and you can purchase all of these components separately, except for the cocoa fiber brick. You have to go over to our big website to buy more of those. So that will have you set up to make all the mix that you need.
And this is really heavy. What a deal to only pay $9.95 cap shipping.
Yeah, so it's a whopper, and it's big, right? So, I mentioned about fungus gnats. Once you have fungus gnats once, you totally know why you're going to do this for the rest of your life. So fungus gnats, the larvae that the adults that are flying around annoying you are laying their eggs on the soil. These are the bits that we add to our watering can once a week. As soon as we fire our grow room up, every Wednesday, this is in my watering can. It's a preventative measure, right? It breaks the cycle before it can really get started. So it is a tablespoon. I'm just looking because I have a measurer in there. I was looking for this the other day. I believe it's a tablespoon, so this goes a really long way. And then it also has the sticky traps. That this is what captures the adults that are flying around. And when you use the two of these together in conjunction, you prevent the problem or you end your problem fairly quickly. It's $19.95, and you can buy these also separately here inside of the app. Now, we use lots of different size trays here. And the reason we do that is that you make the best use out of your seedling heat mat space and your grow light space by filling your trays to capacity. And we do that by selecting the correct size tray for the number of plants that we want to start. This is that 5x5. You just saw me put a set of 20 on. You can get 5 of these for $1.95 or a 25 pack for $6.95. And these are foam, y'all, but they're reusable for years. We don't intend for them to actually be disposable, right? And then this is the small, which holds 2 Oh, here we go. Look at that. This is 2 sets of 20. This is stock that'll be planted out on the farm next week. And that's this size. And then she has, look at this. Is this impressive or what, y'all? This is 60 stock plants ready to go to the garden next week. This is 60 plants, like 5.5 by 11 inches. Soil blocking is the bomb, y'all. I'm telling you. So these are $3.95 for a 5-pack or $15.95 for a 25-pack. So I use these and bigger ones. It just depends on what you're starting with or starting for, a home garden or a bigger garden. But having the right size tray makes all the difference in the world. And so this is the garden marker pen that we use for everything here on our trays and on sticks out in the garden. This is made to resist moisture and UV rays, meaning when you go out in 3 weeks and those pens that aren't made for outside, that are great indoors, all of a sudden the writing is gone and you're lost. That does not happen with this. These are $6.95 and it is a weatherproof marker. We love this guy. So here is that seedling heat mat that I was mentioning that's in the process of actually, I guess I call, when we starting seeds here, we call it a freight train. Once the freight train gets going, we sprout the seeds on a seedling heat mat, then they go to the grow light, then they go out to be hardened off, then they go to the garden. This is just one of the stops on that train line, y'all. And so this has got a built-in thermostat that works from the air temperature. This will hold 4 of those trays of 60. So you can start a lot at one time, but as soon as they come off, which is when 50% of them or more are showing cracking and signs of life, then you can start more, right? So the seedling heat mat is $39.95, and this is just one stop of your train of when you starting seeds. Now, many of the seeds that we actually start are surface sown. They really desire a lot of oxygen and a lot of light. And when you sow seeds on the surface, it's kind of a challenge to keep them moist. We love using wide weave burlap. And we use this in place of any plastics or domes. It's just really easy to encourage disease when you have plastic trapping moisture. The burlap allows air to pass through, yet it retains moisture. This comes in a 3x3 piece. I think it's $3.95. 3 pieces are $9.95. And this just helps to keep the surface while they're on the seedling heat mat moist instead of allowing them to dry out. So love that. Now we have a new introduction for the show today, and it's really my favorite. I'm just going to stand back and let y'all take a gander and look. So this is our tabletop 48-inch light. So that 48-inch light is about 20, its footprint is 20 inches deep, 48 inches long. And friends, you can support 800 of those little small soil blocks. Unbelievable, right? Totally love this. So this is a T5 light bulb. That's why it's raised so high. And when it's high like that, the broadcast is really, really wide. And so that means even if you have seedlings of different heights, you don't have to worry about that with this type of light bulb. So I want to just show you
the built-in timer.
And oh, I forgot about one of the best parts. It has a built-in timer right up here. You can either choose 12 or 18 hours. I recommend you choose the 18. And so it turns on and off by itself. It's freestanding. We love this light. And this is what is a special offer about this is the $9.95 shipping. If you bought this over on our big website, there is additional shipping, and that's because it cost us more to ship it, y'all. So that is an additional special in addition to the soil block maker kit. Now, again, this is 100 plants on this tray. And there's 8 of these trays fit underneath this grow light. And again, I think for me, the biggest convenience is the fact that you have all stages. This is some Ami Magus that is just cracking. Can y'all see that? They're just sprouting. And it just makes for a great opportunity. As well as, y'all, here are the tomatoes that we bumped up last week, 2 weeks ago together, right? Because we start tomatoes in the small block, so we get the space savviness of our heat mat and grow lights until they're a couple weeks old. And then we bumped them up to the 2-inch block. You can see the small block here. And y'all, should we try to break one of these apart? Let's see if there's enough roots yet. Look at these roots, y'all. If these had been in a container for 2 weeks, it would be so root bound already, which is what has to happen. That does not happen with soil blocks. It grows incredible seedlings. And I want to just mention again, it is not time for us to have tomato transplants if those were being planted outside. These are demonstration babies, right? So this grow light is $91.95 with $9.95 shipping, including whatever else you buy with products, right? And the countertop space that it takes is like 19 inches by 50 inches, just over 4 foot. And it's got the built-in timer. There's a drawstring to adjust the height if you need to. It's got a 6-foot grounded cord with an on and off switch, and it's a T5 high output grow light with 6400K full spectrum. And, our goal with seed starting is to get them started at the right time, to move them through the indoor growing process as quickly as possible, to get them outside, to get hardened off, and then to get out to the garden, y'all. Nobody wants to grow inside. These plants don't want to grow in here. And these tools just help you to do that the most efficiently. So get the 4-foot light while you can. So it's quite a deal. All right. You want to talk about this stuff?
Sure, I'm going to talk about Neptune's Harvest.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Suzanne, Lisa's sister. So this is our long spout watering can. This is one of our favorites. This is what Lisa uses to water her seedlings sometimes. But it has a long spout that gives you a very gentle pour so it doesn't tear up your blocks. This also works great if you have flower arrangements that you need to refill the water in and you don't want to take the whole arrangement over to the sink. You can slip this in and gently pour water down into that flower arrangement without disturbing anything. The long spout is $29.95. It holds about 4 cups and it's stainless steel. So this is just a nice quality, beautiful watering can. You could leave it on your shelf next to your house plants and it would just look beautiful. Okay, we also have a smaller one. This is called our espresso watering can, and this only holds 2 cups, but it is just so precious. This one also has a gentle spout, so you could water the same things. You could water your seedlings or a flower arrangement, but I love to use this as a little container for flowers. Put a little bouquet in here, and it's just beautiful. Leave it sitting on your shelf next to your house plants, and it's going to add to that as well. This one is $31.95, and it's just a beautiful little addition to your watering. Next up, we have the Neptune's Harvest. This is what Lisa uses to fertilize her seedlings every week, and she uses the house plant instructions. And let's see, I'm on the wrong side.
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon per gallon of water, and you just water your seedlings like you would normally water them with this in it once a week. And she would choose to do that on Mondays because my desk used to be right outside the grow room door, and I was there on Mondays. Not sure why she couldn't pick another day. I guess it's just that sister torture thing, because it does have a very, very strong smell. Hence, seaweed, fish, very strong. All right, so the seaweed fish Neptune is $18.95. This is just a great thing to have for your seedlings to keep them growing healthy and happy. Next up, we have the compost tea bags. Now, I just took these home because I have some of my hanging pots in my bathroom for the winter, and they're starting to not be very happy. So I got this, and I just used a gallon milk container, and you slip this in the container, fill it with water. Of course, you want to make sure the milk is rinsed out. And I leave it overnight, and then I shake it up real good, and then I water my plants with it. It doesn't have any smell, but this is also great to use for your seedlings as well, or your house plants, or any plant for that matter. So 12 tea packs per pack. It provides organic, healthy microbiology. Add 1 tea bag per gallon of water, steep overnight. Aeration, which is the steeping process, will increase the level of helpfulness of the tea, and you can do that with a fish pump bubbler or those kinds of things, but I just shake it up. So this is $18.95, and it really has made my plants turn around since I've started using it. Okay, next we have one of our favorite things. These are our nitrile gloves. We live in these. Now, this is nitrile coated, not latex. It's lightweight, lets your hands breathe so your hands don't sweat where you're in the garden working. They come extra small to large. This is a medium. I have a really large hand for a woman. I can't wear a large or extra large gub off the shelf usually. So these are unisex sized. So most women, if you're a normal woman, would take a small or extra small if you're petite, and then bigger girls like me would need a medium. Men would usually take a large. Now, these come single, which 1 pair is $7.95, or you can get a 4-pack. 4-pack is $24.95. This will assure that if your dog takes your gloves and runs off and chews it up, that you're not going to have to go without. So get extras to keep on hand, and we just love these. You can throw them in the washing machine to dry, wash them, just hang them to dry. I wash mine while they're on my hands, and then I just hang them to dry. And they just last and last, and you will not go wrong getting these. So these are the Nitrile Touch. Now we
Wait a
also...
second. Angie asked how many tea bags are in the bag?
18.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Lisa says 12.
For $18.95. That's where you got 18 from.
12, sorry. Okay, so next we have the Nitrile Tough Gloves. Now this is the same make as the Touch, but these have a double dip coating of the nitrile on the palm. So these would be great for heavier work like moving wood or concrete. We have mechanics use these, golfers. The FedEx guy wears these. They're just really grippy, and they fit like your skin, and they're wonderful. Now these come in small up to extra large. So any of you guys out there that have bigger hands, the extra large is going to be great for you. Again, I have a large hand for a woman, and I wear a medium. These are also $7.95 for one, or you can get a 4-pack for $39.95. And
$24.95.
I'm reading the next line down. $24.95, sorry, I can't read the lines apparently. So it's even cheaper, $24.95 for a 4-pack. And again, keep these on hand. You just are gonna love them. Now, what is $39.95 is our gauntlet gloves. Now, these are our gauntlets. These are man-made material. They feel like leather, but they're man-made, so you can throw these in the washer. They've got a really thick pad. So if you wear these out dealing with poison ivy, you can just throw them in your wash machine and it gets them all washed off. But these are great for brambles or berries or any critter in your garden that is hard to handle, that might want to bite, like a mad bird that's injured. We have used these to bird rescue before. But these gauntlets are wonderful. This is also unisex sizing. I wear a medium and I have a large hand for a woman. These are $39.95. And again, you can just throw them in the washer to wash them and hang them to dry. And this is something you're going to have for years and years. And they're great for having them on hand in case you need them. Next, we have our Felco pruning saw. Now, this is a new bring back product. We used to sell this until we cut our selection back. But since it's time to prune, I'm so happy we got them back because I've already bought a new one because I couldn't find my old one. This saw is so sharp and it makes a nice smooth cut, so when you're pruning you get that nice smooth cut without damaging your tree or shrub. It cuts on the push and the pull, so it makes easy work of any size limb that you might come across. The serrated blade is 6 inches long, and it's one-time offer while our supplies last. It's $49.95, and like I said, I already have mine. I think during the show last week, Susie and I both ordered one for ourselves as the show was going on, so not sure how many are left, but this is something you put in your toolbox and you keep forever. So be sure you've got a nice sharp knife when you start to go pruning your shrubs and trees.
And you know, I'm still using the same one from 20 years ago, and you don't really sharpen them, right? Because they're serrated.
Yeah.
And because I love to prune, y'all. You think I love to cut flowers. I love to cut trees and shrubs. And this little saw makes it quick and easy. You'll absolutely love it. All right, floating row cover. Our friend, right? This is the lightweight row cover. It's 6.5 feet wide. We use this primarily to protect our seedlings and beds from wind and cold. And then our direct sown seeds, especially from varmints. It's lightweight and reusable. It is not stretchy. We use it with and without the hoops. We have hoops available over on our big website, thegardenersworkshop.com, and it's available in 3 lengths. You can get a 20-footer, which is $12.95, or you can get 50 feet for $26.95, and 100 feet is for $42.95. And we even have longer rolls if you need that over on our big website. So this is the time of the year. It is those cold nights when the warm days where row cover really helps to pay off protecting your little seedlings. Now, the way that we hold them down is we use weight bags. That's what this is. We fill it with either sand, gravel, or soil, whatever you have available. You put about 15 pounds in here, which usually fills it up to about right there. It has a string on the top you can wrap around to tie it off. And this is what we use to set on the floating row cover to hold it in place, as well as I use it with our insect netting and our silage tarps. Totally love these bags. There's 10 bags for $10.95, or 25 bags for $24.95, or 50 bags for $39.95. Now, these are broken down by UV rays. I usually get 2 years out of a bag, and if you make a point of when you're not using them and they're just sitting somewhere in a pile outside, to cover them with a piece of plastic or a silage tarp that blocks the light, and you get longer life out of it. You can never have enough anchor bags, y'all. So, and this is the insider tip of to stock up for this, what I'm getting ready to talk about, before the season gets started, because then it gets crazy and we don't always have enough. This is the biodegradable film that we use here on my farm, and I have used for, I think, 12 years now. And it looks like plastic, so you can see where I've punched holes in it. Looks like plastic, does the same job as plastic, meaning it suppresses weed seeds from germinating because it blocks light. It helps to warm the soil or cool it potentially, but yet it's not plastic. It's totally compostable and biodegradable, meaning you can turn it into the soil or you can mulch on top of it and it just breaks down. It is super easy to use. We have a video on the products that show you how to install it by hand. I did it that way for 8 years before I got a tractor, and it is super easy to punch a hole through. This is not like that landscape fabric that you have to burn a hole in. Love this stuff. So it comes in 2 lengths. We have the 48-inch wide by 50-foot one pack, which is $24.95. You can get a 6-pack of 50-foot long ones for $119.95. And I want to say it's all 48 inches wide, and a 48-inch wide piece fits on a 36-inch wide raised bed or less, because you have to have enough to go down the sides. Then we also now offer it in the 100-foot length, and you can get a 1-pack of these for $39.95 or a 3-pack for $110.95. I definitely attribute my ability to scale my flower farm to this weed suppression tool. It just allowed us to grow a lot more with less labor, and worked really, really well. Now, this is a product that I absolutely adore, y'all. This is the insect netting. So it kind of looks like row cover, but it works totally different. First off, it's kind of stretchy, kind of like a pair of pantyhose, right? And this is intended to be applied like a row cover on hoops with weight bags on top of it, and that blocks access to any flying pests. You know, think of the moths that lay that larva that grow into the caterpillar that eat your buds potentially, or that you get on your cabbage and your broccoli. And so that's what it's used for. But I love installing this in the summer as a sun cap. And we show it in the video of how we shade beds without trapping heat. This really has a better transfer of air. It doesn't really build up thermal. And so it's lightweight, sturdy, reusable. We secure it with our weight bags, and this is available. It's 6.5 feet wide, same width as the row cover. A 20-foot piece is $33.95. A 50-footer is $82.95, and 100 feet is $159.95. And I'm telling you, friends, I love working with this stuff, and I really love it for shading beds. And we last year sun capped a bed of celosia. I don't know if you've seen those huge celosias that I've been featuring on Instagram. That bed was sun capped because it was 97 degrees when we planted that day, and this brought them through, providing shade for them. So it works really well. Now, it's not going to be long before we're going to start netting our beds. We net beds, the cut flower garden, because the stems are tall and they'll quickly go down in rain or wind. This is plastic. It is a 6-inch square. We have video to show you how to install it. It's super easy. It's 36 inches wide, and it comes either in a 20-foot piece, which is $11.95, or a 50-foot piece, which is $21.95. And we actually have bigger, much larger lengths available over on our big website. And this is the best kept secret in growing cut flowers, friends. This is what keeps your flowers upright, even in a torrential downpour, because once they go down, you will never get them back. Now, we have the container protection kit. Oh, she's getting it. Let's go to the Slug X while she's getting that. Oh, I love talking about this, y'all. I don't know if you remember this. This is the Slug X. This is to trap and kill slugs. And it's pretty unique. It's made in England, and it is this box that has a top. Oh, and it even comes, it doesn't come with slugs, y'all, but ours does. Susie is a ceramic person. Look at these precious little slugs she has made for our Slug X. That's like, they are pretty, that almost makes you like slugs, but you won't in spring, trust me. So inside there's 3 wells. In these wells, you put beer. Slugs are attracted to yeast, and leave it to a university of college people to figure out that Pabst Blue Ribbon is the beer of choice because it's the yeastiest, y'all. So are we opening it, sister? All right, y'all, stand by. We are going to open a PBR, as what we used to call it back in the day. Oh, and it's fizzing. Holy cow, y'all. And then, Suzanne, you pour. So she's going to fill up the wells. And the reason it's so helpful to have this cover is whenever it rains, you're not diluting your beer. And if you have a golden retriever on the premise, it'll keep them from eating the pickled slugs.
Or a raccoon.
Or a raccoon or anybody else. So we put the top back on. I put a cinder block on top of this. And see these little side doors? That's where the slugs come in. They fall into the pool without a lifeguard, and sorry, Charlie. This works like a gem, and it's super easy to clean. You just take the top off and jet it out with the hose, and we love this. The Slug X is one of those seasonal products we can't always get. They're $19.95, and it's perfect for your shade garden. Now, we have put together what do we call this? The container protection kit.
Sorry.
Suzanne, don't drink that beer. All right, the container protection kit, because I don't know about you, but when I start to grow like this time of the year lettuce in my big containers out there, if I don't protect it from the squirrels or whatever, if you have chipmunks or whatever, they just uproot everything constantly. So this is the get up that I actually use. So this is a grow through, has legs. You put the legs on and you push this down a few inches above your plant canopy. You don't want to smash your plants, right? And so you're going to install that. And then it comes with a piece of insect netting to be able to go over that grow through and down around your pot. And then to secure it down, it's a piece of our flexi tie, which is stretchy rubber, and you tie it like a little belt. Y'all, it's like perfect. It works like a gem. You can water through this if you need to. So the container protection kit is $21.95, and even the grow through is only 12 inches. I use it on a really big pot. You just want something to hold to support the insect netting. And so it works like a gem, and all you have to do is come out and find your plants, your seedlings on the ground a couple times and realize this could be something that is really, really helpful. Want to remind everybody, if you joined late, hit the button now to be on the list for the drawing that we're going to do right before the show ends for the $25 giveaway.
We're going right to warm.
Okay, so Pete, we're already getting revved up for warm flowers, right? So we always say if you store your seeds properly, you buy the seeds when you meet them or see the flower, and then you file them away in your seed vault. For the season, you have to start them. So no different today. These are the desiccant packs that we store our seeds with. It absorbs any moisture. If you keep them cool and dry, they last a really long time. So first up, oh my gosh, y'all, it is season. It's time. The lime green zinnia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, lime green's fine.
Okay.
We missed the mix. Where's the giant?
I've got the mix, but I didn't see it, so that's why I didn't use it. So do you have it?
It's written
Let's do the
in,
green and
yes.
we'll go to the
Okay.
yes.
Y'all, look at this gorgeousness. The lime green zinnia works for a lot of different things, but this is our favorite. We grow Benary's Giants as our main. That was like most of what our offering was the Benary's Giants, because they're the biggest, most prolific, and most mildew resistant. The green is not as big as the Giants, but it is pretty dadgum gorgeous. Love that one. And then here are the Giants. These are all the colors they come in, y'all. There's like 13 colors. It's amazing. It's available as a mix, and all the individual colors are in there. This is our top selling seed always year round. The Benary's Giants just blow every other zinnia out of the water. Then my personal favorite is the Oklahoma. It's actually hybridized by the same people, Benary's in Germany. This is like a Benary's Giant, but it's only about this big. It's about 1.5 inches. This allows for you to create interest and texture in a bouquet. And some of us, like me, I love having a vase of just little Oklahomas on my table. For our mixed bouquets, they were a major player. And in fact, all the flowers we're showing you today are like the workhorses of our flower farm. This is the Chief Coxcomb Mix. If you've never grown coxcomb, this is the one for you. If you have grown coxcomb, this is the one for you. Every year, even though I grow all the straight colors, we always grow the mix to just have that nice, sometimes there's a color that'll pop up that you weren't really aware of. Love this Chief Mix Coxcomb. And then the individual colors. This is like cotton candy. This is called Coxcomb Kurumi Rose. Absolutely love this color. This light your bouquets on fire in spring. And look at this. That is on Bobo's shoulder. That is the orange red, the most productive coxcomb that I've ever grown. You know, coxcomb were in our top 10. This is the Kramer's mix, and this comes with a lime green. It has a rose and a burgundy, and this is a coxcomb that was actually hybridized for drying. So this is a great candidate for drying. Whoops. Sorry, y'all. Huh?
Texas mix.
Yep. Oh, gosh. So, y'all, this is the Texas Celosia plumes. We had this seed grown for us. This is a custom grow. Big, tall, gorgeous colors. You cannot get enough of these guys, right? Totally love that. And then my personal favorite, just because of the orange, y'all, the Sunday series. It's very similar to Texas, but it's segregated, and you can buy it as a mix, and you can also buy some of the straight colors also. And then look at this. I love summer flowers, y'all. I'm so glad it's almost time. This is the flamingo feather. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous flower. And Celosia sylphid. Sylphid is a very neutral color. It's a great one to have. I mean, we succession plant all of this mess, y'all, over and over. This is what drove our business for all those years. And then, of course, the secret weapon, Miss Burns Lemon Basil. We totally love this. And if you'll notice, this is a nice light green foliage with a white flower versus the cinnamon. This is the mix, right? Yes. So we sell the lemon and the cinnamon together, but look at the difference. This is the lemon and this is the cinnamon, darker, which is great for fall. And so that's really beautiful. And then, y'all, Gumphrina. We grow all the colors that we offer. And look how gorgeous they are dried. They look almost just like they look fresh. This one was called Rose Bicolor. It's got the little white dot. Gumphrina is a crop that we could sell to our florist every week, supermarkets every week, and use in our bouquets every week. Great crop. So, friends, remember to stick around to the end if you want to be a part of the Q&A. But it's time for us to wrap up the show. And I want to remind you that over on our website, thegardenersworkshop.com, we have so many free things over there for you, resources. We have videos, we have blogs. You can connect with both of our podcasts. We have Field and Garden, which is hosted by yours truly. And then we also have Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane. And yesterday's that just dropped for Seed Talk is Tweedia, a powder blue beauty. And so you can find both of our podcasts over on our website, but you can also find them on podcast apps everywhere. And a reminder, friends, that I am hosting Ask a Flower Farmer this Wednesday inside Instagram. That happens at 12:30 Eastern Time on Instagram. And I spend about 30 minutes and answer some of your questions. So please be sure that you join me there. And love it if you follow me. I mean, I'm very active on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram, and even TikTok. Just give us a follow, and I would love that. And remember to meet us back here next Friday. Let's see what next Friday's theme is. This is a good one. Which blocker is right for you? I'll be demonstrating all 4 of the blocking tools, including the commercial models, the Swift blocker, and what we use each one of those for. So it's time, friends, to pick a lucky winner of our $25 giveaway. This means one lucky person, when they go to check out, if they claim their prize, is going to have a $25 store credit. And the winner is Krista Dean. Krista Dean, if you are here, give us a big old shout out. How awesome would it be to win that? And then to be able to buy one of these grow lights. What a deal. Double dipping, y'all. Low shipping and a winner. Krista, if you are here, give us a shout out, and the girls will drop that $25 credit right into your cart. So give us a shout out in the comments, and we'll be getting that all straightened out for you. Now, friends, stick around for the live Q&A thanks for joining us if you're heading out. And now let's answer some questions. All right,
Krista's here.
Oh, Krista's here. Congratulations, Krista. I love it when people are here so we can give it to you. So the girls are literally dropping $25 right into your cart. Thank you for participating and being here. And I don't know if you're a first timer, if you're a newbie, we love it when that happens too. So let's look at some of these questions. All right. Zone 8, Texas. So I am also Zone 8, even though I'm in Virginia. What is a good cover crop to plant and what earliest in spring to plant it? So cover crop is just like annuals. There's warm season and there's cool season. Well, it's too late to even talk about cool, right? We've missed all that time. The one cover crop that I love to grow, and I love to grow it because it's quick, it's easy, and even people that don't have equipment can turn it under and make best use of it, and that is buckwheat. You will find that over on our website. I love buckwheat. I always have buckwheat on hand. It goes from seed to bloom in 30 days. That means it is a great weed suppressor because if you plant it when it's really warm enough, when you plant it, it will sprout in just a couple of days and create a beautiful canopy. Then it blooms and the pollinators and beneficial insects absolutely love it. Then you can turn it under with a shovel, use a silage tarp. There's just a lot of different ways to extinguish it. Wondering if I can till where I want to plant and leave cover crop between rows for weed protection. So that's a great idea. And I got a question similar to this in the club the other day. And my answer is yes. A lot of people do that type of stuff where they'll cover crop an entire garden and then just prepare strips to plant into, right? In my experience, I don't know where you are, we have such a long warm season that our weeds outcompete anything we would have planted in that pathway. So all I'm saying is, while it looks like we plant grass in our pathways, that is not grass. We just allow natural vegetation to sprout and grow, and we just mow it all once a week with a push mower, right? So yes, you can do that, but don't be surprised if those cover crops, residuals, get quickly overpowered by the native vegetation, better known as weeds, right? Does stock go under lights or just heat until germination? No, nothing. I don't put any germinating seeds in the germination process under a grow light. They're either on a seedling heat mat or a grow light, right? If you do both at the same time, it kind of toasts them. It's a little too much. But when a seed says it needs light to germinate, that's just ambient daylight. But what that often is saying, but it's not saying it clearly, that seed just really needs oxygen. So it needs to be sown firmly on the surface of the soil. When you use sandbags, do they get damp and freeze to the row cover? Yes. Zone 5B, still in the single digits here. I'm having trouble with my row covers freezing to my weights and tearing the row cover. You have my sympathy. I have totally lived what you're living right now. And after this happens to you once, then you try to have some thoughts. So what we do here is, first off, when frozen precipitation is coming, snow or freezing rain, we always take our covers down. Lightweight row cover is not made to hold up snow, right? It's not heavy enough. And so when we know that's coming, we take our covers down. My dilemma comes where I don't know about you, we don't ever get much snow. We'll only get an inch or two. And my plants quickly grow through that, or it melts partially. But yet it's going to go down to 15 degrees tomorrow. And after the snow's done, I would really like to put my row covers back up, right? To protect them from that cold temperature, that because I don't have deep snow is a great insulator. So if you have 6 inches of snow, you don't have to worry about this. But we fall in that middle part, and it's work. But I'll tell you what we do here. When we're getting frozen precipitation, followed by deep dive polar blasts, which happen now, we literally go out there and leave our bags down, and we just pick up our row covers and bring them in the building so that after that's all done, we can take them back out and put them down. And we did that twice in January. And it worked out, so I understand. Do you recommend anything else to put in pathways other than leaves? Sure, we only use leaves in the fall. I mean, it depends on the time of the year that we're preparing a garden as to what we put on the pathway. And the only thing I put on the pathway typically now, I've tried everything, but what we do now on a regular basis after 27 years of making a lot of mistakes is we use leaves on the pathways when we're preparing fall gardens because leaves are ready available then, right? We don't store them. We bring them home and put them down. And then summer, spring and summer beds and gardens do like what I was just mentioning. We just allow vegetation to grow. People think I plant something there. No, that's just weeds growing and we mow it every week. I've tried landscape fabric, would never use that in pathways again for a lot of reasons. I have tried planting cover crops that just they can't outcompete the native vegetation. So that's what we kind of do. All right, friends, you want me to answer that one?
Sure.
Oh, she wants me to answer one more, y'all. Are Gomphrena and Celosia coxcomb cut and come again flowers? What a great question. Gomphrena, for sure. Some Celosia coxcombs. This is where life gets complicated. Just because a family, some Celosia coxcombs are branching varieties, and then there's single stem varieties. The branchers produce multiple stems, but the singles like Spring Green, Unlimited Coral, or Coral Unlimited, and Act, they're all single. And so there's benefits to those too, but yes, they are definitely, we cut from them for weeks. So friends, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have a very happy, I almost said Halloween, Valentine's Day.
Interchangeable.
There you go. They both have candy involved, so that's on my mind. So friends, I started the morning off at 6 a.m. with a card and Reese cups at my breakfast table from my sweet man. And I hope you'll check out, we're dropping a blog today about a continuation of my garden love story with my man Stevie. And I would love for you to read it and let me know what you think. All right.